Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning on in for today's episode. It is also episode number one. So, woohoo! Yay! We're getting started. Slash, go me. I'm out here trying new things. Hopefully, we can appreciate this. In any case, this is episode one. So, thank you for joining me today. Y'all, I have no idea what I'm going to call this, but I'm really excited to do my first podcast and share just a different experience. If you don't know me, my name is Ansley Lucas. I do a lot of things in life. I'm kind of doing this off the cuff. I'm a very scripted person. I like to think things out and overthink them and then try and live out that plan. And then it kind of fails because life is not scripted. So I figured I would just turn on my voice memo sitting in my kitchen on the floor because it's too loud in my bedroom and the bathroom makes a weird noise. So I figured I'd type up a couple of notes and then just talk to you guys. So throughout the past couple of months, I've become much more open. And now that I'm starting my own business on top of my day job and trying to be an entrepreneur at 25, I just want to share more of my story and what makes me so that I can use that to help and relate to other people, especially women. So, things you can expect from me, I'm going to be definitely talking about life, lots of life stuff on here. I'll give you guys a bit of a coaching tip every week as I'm learning new things, not only through my classes or just fun things that I've been reading or podcasts I'm listening to. I'll turn that into some sort of just an experience that we can talk about it and chat about it and just what my thoughts are. I'm also very single, and I am the one in the friend group that has plenty of stories about boys in life. So I will go over some dating mishaps and maybe a win at some point if I'm not single anymore. And then I am also very open about this on social media, and it's something that I'll be open about in my coaching business. I have bipolar disorder. I was diagnosed maybe a year and a half ago. So living my life knowing what I now know is a very new experience, even though I've probably had it for most of my life. So I'm going to be open on here with some of those struggles as well. And then also, just so you guys get to know me, I am Christian. I'm slowly becoming more grounded in my faith, and it's actually going to be the basis for a lot of my coaching frameworks and just how I want to work with clients. If you're interested in being one of my clients and me coaching you, I definitely still want it to be something where we're really getting to the lessons that have benefited me in terms of my journey and growing spiritually. So, if you're not Christian, it's still definitely going to be applicable. I don't want that to turn people away, but it's really interesting when you take Christianity and you look at it for what it is. It's applicable to everyone. Yes, you have to believe in order to manifest those things, but there's a lot of good lessons that are just nice for making you a better person and being in great relationships and healthy relationships and loving yourself. So that is going to be the basis of my coaching. Like I said, I'm still growing in my faith. I don't necessarily want to start quoting Bible scriptures or anything in my sessions with clients. So we're going to work through all that with my clients on the blog and in this podcast. So the first thing I want to start off with is wins for the week. So I got a few things going on, a few things going right. So coaching business. I am a part of a female entrepreneur association group. It's actually the name of it. Oh wow, I just got a really weird message from someone that thinks that they know me and they don't, so that's insulting. Alrighty, so yes, I'm part of this entrepreneur association for women, and part of what they do every month is that you can sign up for accountability partner. I have realized in my time recently, in my sessions with my therapist, is that like on the surface, I seem like I do a lot, and I got it going on. Okay, this person is still texting me, and they're really rude. So I realize that like I've got a lot going on and people might look at me and say like, wow, she's really put together, she's efficient, she's organized. I, in my personal life, do not hold myself accountable to a lot of things. I do a lot, but the accountability is not there. I play to my strengths in terms of the fact that I can get stuff done, but it's not hard. Like hard stuff, I don't like doing it like a lot of people, and I'm really good at forcing myself to not do it. But I see what I want on the other side of that, and the component that's missing is holding myself accountable to getting those things done. So I was shying away from doing the accountability partner this month, and I signed up for it. I got paired with someone that is in the UK. She's in a service-based business, and she's been in business for 2 to 3 years. I think it'll be good. I'm excited. I'm excited to hold myself accountable with an accountability partner. So that was the first thing. My website is almost done. This person that is messaging me said some not great things about it, and I don't know why she's still talking to me, but everyone else likes it. So I'm really excited about that. I put a lot of work into it. I definitely need to work on like the marketing and some of the words. I'm terrible at grammar, but anywho, I think it's going to end up being really good. And it's something that I'm already proud of, even though it's not completely finished and perfect. Then a couple more things. So, my day job is going really well. I am a project manager at an investment management firm. I'm killing it. I'm honestly killing it, you guys. Overall, I've got one low for the week related to work, but that's okay. The other thing, so church was great today. I try and record my sessions after church while the content is still fresh. And church is really great. So I take a lot of mood stabilizers and I take very strong bipolar medication, which is designed to kind of, I'm going to say, level out your emotions. It also numbs a lot of emotions, if I'm just being really honest. So oftentimes when I go to church, it's hard for me to connect because I don't feel anything. It's just really hard. I don't even know what to say. And it, as someone that's trying to grow in their faith, when you don't have that emotional connection, it's really tough. It's really hard to say, like, I'm supposed to be feeling something and I don't. Like, do I really believe this? And I can do a whole separate like mini session or on my next podcast talk about it. But like a lot of faith, it's not when the emotion is there and it's great and it's happy, or it's when you're sad and you can really feel it. It's about the daily practice of being a part of what you're interested in and growing in your faith. But today I actually felt something and I was really excited. And then lastly, this is something I'll share on my blog and my Instagram, but I have an accountability calendar that I use every month. So I have different things that I'm keeping track of, like showering, eating healthy. If you ever had depression, showering can be really, really hard. And even that's something I still struggle with, like showering on a consistent basis. I am very open in real life, so I'm like very seriously open with you guys on the internet. So that's something I struggle with. Also, other things on my calendar is going to the gym is one, and washing my hair, and that kind of goes back to some depression stuff. So, like being able to visualize it and seeing on the calendar, like, all right, it's been a week since I washed my hair. Like, let me go jump in the shower and do that. And then the other two things I have is my morning medication and my night medication. So it's just been great to visually see all the things that I'm doing and actually hold myself accountable to them, because I am a little competitive and I'm definitely goal oriented. So if I can see where I'm missing the mark on something, I will fix it. So that has been great. And like I said, I'll do a post and show you guys my calendar and tips and tricks and all that. So some lows for the week. Keep mentioning this person that's Facebook messaging me. It was a really weird conversation where someone was trying to help me and they just drained me of my energy. And instead of it being a 45-minute call, it was 2.5 hours. And afterwards, I broke down. I started crying. It made me manic. And then I stayed up until 1 in the morning because I couldn't go to sleep. And then I woke up at 7 the next day, which is early for people that sleep in, is late for people that get up early. But for context, I get up at 4 every morning to work before I go to work. And I sleeping in past 4:30 is like a miracle for me at this point. But I still didn't get a lot of sleep, even though I slept until 7. So it just threw my sleep schedule off. Like I'm just really tired. I'm trying to get it back on track. The other thing is that while work is going great, I am a perfectionist. And I feel like I've been a little sloppy on a couple of things. And my manager is like really cool. She's like, if there was a problem, I'd pull you aside immediately and tell you to fix it, which I believe that she would do. And she's like, you're not missing the mark on these things, so chill out. But I feel like I am. So I need to do some mental work on that. And then, as always, money is a struggle. Even though my parents help me out, it's just, I am trying to make money, but not making any yet. So I'm spending a lot of money and it's not coming back. And my website like broke down this week. I ended up spending $600 that I did not have. I literally didn't have it. I had to ask my parents. So it's just kind of hard. I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck anymore. So I'm I don't know. I'm hoping that this coaching business works out, or if it's not going to work out, I need to stop spending the money on it because then I'd have a lot of money. Life would be great. So yeah, those are a couple lows every this week. So I'll share some highs and some lows, and then this week I want to focus on staying on my budget until I get paid again, which I think I can do. I really don't need to buy anything else. And then out of that very long conversation, it was like coaching and business related, so it wasn't it was helpful. But I need to figure out who exactly it is I'm marketing to. I didn't necessarily completely agree with the person that I was talking with, but she made some good points. And I'm always open to conversation and listening to people. I might have to process it a little bit later, but I just in the moment she drained me. But I do need to better understand when it comes to the marketing perspective, what it is that I'm doing, because I'm not marketing by design. I'm an organized, efficient business person. And I kind of kick myself for studying business in school because marketing is so much more useful. But anywho, I got to work on that. And then for my coaching class, so you don't have to be certified to be a life coach. I would like to be certified just to credentialize myself. I am working, I bought all kinds of courses. I'm really excited about them, like the marketing one and SEO, a couple of coaching courses that focus on just different components of coaching. So I'm working on finishing the first class that I'm taking so that I can actually be a certified life coach. So there's 9 modules total. I think I'm on 4. I want to get 2 more done this week, and they're very long. So I don't know if I'm going to get 2 done, but I can definitely try and get 1 done. I want to finish my website, like clean up the marketing, everything as good as I can get it. And then my other thing is to record this podcast and upload it. I'm going to try and do it today. I've got to get on a podcasting rhythm. So we'll see. Maybe I record it on Sundays and post it on Mondays because it's not just recording it. I used to make YouTube videos for my beauty channel. So I kind of know, I do know what goes into that. So I'm assuming podcasting is the same. Like you've got to edit it, you've got to post it on the different sites, get the descriptions together, make sure you've got like I don't even have like a podcast clip art thing that I can use as the cover for all this stuff. So I got to think through that. But yeah, those are my goals for the week. They feel manageable. When you're setting goals, try to make them bite-sized pieces that don't overwhelm you. And that's something I've had to work on because I spend within my bipolar disorder, I spend most of my time being manic. When I get depressed, I get really depressed, but like 70% of the time I'm manic and I feel like the sky is the limit every single day. And so I will create goals that I cannot hit. So yeah, these are more manageable. The next part I want to talk about is related to faith and spirituality. So for me, that comes from my growing in my journey by practicing um, developing my Christianity every day and going to church on Sundays. I absolutely love church. But I just want to put this disclaimer out. I feel like the things I'm going to talk about in this section, they're actually the basis for a lot of the coaching that I want to do. So when you take it out of the direct context of it being in the Bible, it's actually just like the best life coaching book that there is because it just teaches you a lot about the things that you should and shouldn't accept in your life and the things that can drive you forward if you choose to have some conviction in something other than yourself. So, I am still not comfortable talking about like Jesus or God or any of the things that are like Bible related. So I'm not going to do that within this space and in my coaching. So just putting that out there. If you're like, but I'm not Christian, can I relate? Probably just give it a shot and see what I have to say. Okay, so today in church we talked about strategic alliances. So, alliances, yes, people that you connect with, yes, these are good things, but actually being thoughtful about the people that are in your life and making sure you're sharing the right story at the right time with the right person. So, you can't live out what you are meant to do in life without having the right people alongside you. Think about if you've ever tried to celebrate something alone, right? It's terrible. Like you look kind of lame, and it is pretty lame to celebrate things alone. So when you have people around you that are people that you can create a community with and you can discuss and bounce ideas off and they're rooting for you, it just makes the experience so much better, so much more fulfilling. And oftentimes you find when you're having someone hold up a mirror back to yourself, like there are some things you got to work on and there are things that you can change and tweak, but without having those conversations, without having someone hold up the mirror, you're not going to be able to do that. So that's what we talked about. And I think something I would like to encourage anyone listening to this week's podcast, assess your community. Really think about the relationships that are in your life. And this is not a plug for like my shop or anything, but there like I'm going to be building courses around these topics and templates and blog posts. So if that's something you struggle with, outside of this podcast, consider interacting with me on my social media or my site or some of the templates and things that I'm coming out with. I, as a mindset coach, am all about mental decluttering. The person you want to be in life and the things that you actually want to do, they're there. They're yours for the taking, but there are a couple of things that are getting in the way. Things that you might believe in the past or things that have happened to you. The past does not dictate the future. You can be who you want to be by living in the present and working on the version of you that you really are. And part of that goes back to having a good community. So, yeah, church was great. I think that's all I'm going to do for now. Just keep it a little bit lighter. Like I said, I don't have any notes. This is not scripted. And I've got 4 other topics I want to go over. So, that's what we talked about in church. And then what I learned in my business this week. Okay, topic number 5. So, yes, the reason for my mini meltdown. Y'all, it takes money to make money. Long gone are the days where you have like $1 in a dream and you can become a millionaire and do whatever you want. I do not believe in that. And maybe it's because I'm just jaded and I've been on so many free webinars for masterminds where like they give you a little something, they give you a taste, and then at the end they're like, oh, it's $5,000 or 5 payments of $1,000. And I'm like, if I had $5,000, I'd be doing something else with it other than paying you to make you richer to teach me, how to market 10 Pinterest posts. They're specifically niche down and they want thousands of dollars for these classes. And I get it, they're not charities, it's not altruistic. These women they have 6-figure businesses because they're charging the rates they're charging. But it makes me realize in that moment when I listen to those classes or webinars, whatever you want to call them, and I hear those numbers at the end, is like they're looking to help successful people. And part of what I want to do as a coach is find that sweet spot of making money, but also providing affordable resourcing and coaching for women that need it and women that, like me, that can't spend $5,000 on a random seminar that they've got really good marketing for, so you think you need to have it. Like, you feel terrible after that you can't afford it. And if you're someone like me where you're taking the money that you've earned, and sometimes it's not a lot, we can do a whole thing on money, honestly, because you can relate it to like the people around you and a comparison trap, and just I've got some real stories about that. But when you're someone that is trying really hard with what you have and it's still not working out, you feel like trash after you hear these webinars and you can't afford like a course that is designed specifically what you're looking for. There's no BS. You don't have to fool around. You just take the course and it'll give you that, versus looking up books and podcasts and asking Facebook groups and getting on Instagram and searching the internet and you can't find what you're looking for. Like I said, I'm very organized. I like a system. I will pay for a class. I will pay for a person to help me with a framework. So I get it. Those types of things speak to me. But I want to, through different mediums, provide free and affordable resourcing and opportunities for people, and not just people, women like me that are really trying to make a difference, and they get it that it takes money to make money. And at one of those, like at some point they want to be someone that has money and they're trying to do the best that they can to get there. My motives for starting my business are not solely financially. Like, in a couple years, I want to be outside of corporate America working for myself. If I can do that and afford my life and it doesn't take a 6-figure business, then great. I'm happy with that. The other component is to help change women's lives, because I have benefited so much for the personal growth that I have done. And, if you're interested in my mental health journey, I spend a lot of time talking about it on Instagram. I'll be doing some blog posts as well, but your mind is the gatekeeper to your success. And that is it's one, very scary to think about that, but 2, unlocking that power is the greatest gift and the best tool you can ever have in life. And so I want to help women get through that mental clutter and just figure out who they actually are so they can have the lives that they really want. So that is what I learned in my business this week, is that it takes money to make money. So I think I just said earlier, like my site broke down and that was just money I didn't have. And it just, oh, guys, it stressed me out. So, anywho, the next thing I want to talk about is being the super single person in my friend group. So I always have misadventures in dating. I don't think I've ever had a traditional dating scenario and people are like, "Oh, that's normal." There's always something a little off when it comes to the men and boys that are choosing to interact with me. So, I think the theme for this week has been insecurity. And maybe it's yeah, or inadequacy as it relates to successful women. So, I had two things going on. And I'm not going to mention names or give away like enough details so the person knows I'm talking about them. One guy, we only been talking for 3 days, and he calls me babe and says, he said I loved you via text message. I'm like, okay, one pause. My government name will do just fine. You can start using that, sir. Good day, thank you. And two, like, I don't know you. Like, yes, I take this medication and it kind of numbs my emotions. So I'm like thinking about this very rationally. Like, I don't know you, and it takes a lot for me to even like people. So how am I gonna love you right now? Like, what are you doing? What are you on? You do not love me. Like, do not joke around and put that in a text message. He's been okay. There was one day where there was a time difference. So he lives right now outside of the US, but when he's here, he's in Philly. So he literally got on me for not texting him during his daytime, which is my nighttime. So I wake up and I see this text message that's like, "What's going on? You didn't text me today." I'm like, "So? Is that a discussion point? Am I supposed to talk to you every day? Like, we are not exclusive. I'm still on these apps talking to other guys." It's like, we're not dating. You're not even trying to get to know me as a person. You do not own me. You do not claim me. Do not talk about me with your friends. Like, there is nothing going on. Oh, man. So that was one person. And then the other guy, like, I like him. He's fine. He's nice, but I think I just make him really insecure. One thing I will talk about in coaching is that you can't make people feel anything. Like, they are choosing to react to whatever expectations they had of you in that moment. But he treats me like I'm making him insecure. So I can't even say it's me. I shouldn't say that. So he doesn't want to go out with me because he has nothing to offer me. I'm like, all right, one, I didn't know we were playing this game. So, like, what exactly is it that you think I need that you're supposed to offer to me? Because, not to be mean, but like, you're not going to complete me. I don't seek validation in other people when it comes to relationships anymore. There's other ways in which I still do that. When it comes to guys, and as many times if I have tried to like go out with people or get on the apps or message first or fix a project, which I know a lot of women can relate to, like, I'm over that. I've done so much work in the past couple of months and just elongating that to the past year that, like, I don't need you. Yeah, I get lonely and yeah, sometimes I don't want to be single and I go through phases where I'm okay and then I feel like I'm just going to die the next day because I'm still single and I want to find someone. And I get on these apps and I start swiping right on people that I need to go left on. And yes, I deal with all that. I'm very human, but I want a companion in life. I want a companion within a relationship that reflects the values that I have with someone mentally, spiritually, financially, physically, all that stuff. So I'm thinking, like, you don't have to offer me anything. I didn't reach my hand out and ask for anything from you. So if there's some insecurity that is going on within you where you look at this person, AKA me, Ansley, and say, wow, I can't stack up against her, that is not my fault. And I can't, like, there's nothing I can do. Like, you have to learn to one, get over that if you want to be with me, or two, find someone that doesn't make you feel that way because I'm not doing anything to you. So, yes, rant over. I mean, I used to be that person in a like trying to date someone or go out with someone. They usually were someone that needed some sort of fixing in like that stereotypical type of project type of way. So, I know what it's like to try and seek validation from someone that is not right for you. I just used to be really insecure about a lot of things. Now, I will say, granted, I don't care about a lot of things anymore, but I used to just be really, really insecure. And even now, like, I'm kind of putting up with some stuff that I probably shouldn't. And it's just one of those, like, I kind of don't want to be alone right now. But they're very small things. Like, both of these guys, if they never texted me again, I'd live. I'd be okay. Wouldn't be that big of a deal. But it's still, no one wants to be lonely. No one wants to feel lonely. One of the things I've realized is that I'm able to draw strength from other areas of my life instead of just feeling isolated everywhere and looking for stuff in guys and men. So I don't seek that validation anymore, and I don't feel that insecurity. It's still annoying where like you're talking to someone and they just stop messaging you completely and you're like, "What the heck?" Like, be a gentleman and say like you're not interested. Or like on Bumble when you have to message someone first and they don't message you back, you're like, "Ugh." You let the clock run out. You could have at least said hi, I don't know. So that's annoying. And then I also signed up for Match.com, and that's been going okay. One of the things I struggle with is I have always been super mature. So I'm not sure how I would fare with someone my age. So I'm not sure, like, they can't be old enough to be my dad, but I kind of figure from a maturity standpoint, like, should I be looking at guys that are older than me, and or should I not? Should I find someone my age? It's gonna be harder to find when I'm looking for in someone that's my age and blah blah blah. And I mean, I can talk on another podcast about some of the insecurities that I face around some of my other friends that are in relationships. I'm like, we're comparing apples and oranges. I can see why you're not single anymore, and I can kind of see why I am, but I like the way I am. But then these other people are attracting the guys that I think I'm interested in. Definitely, it's going to be one of those things where I'm actually not interested in them and I end up with someone completely different. But there's a lot of stuff I will talk about on social media and on my blog and in this podcast about dating. So, insecurity was the topic for the week. And then before I give a final note, I wanted to talk about a coaching moment. So, this will also just give me an opportunity to practice some of this outside of working with clients and doing it in an auditory format for people that, just learn in different ways. Maybe you want someone to talk to you about it versus reading it or watching a video on it. So, going back to my accountability poster or calendar that I have, the reason why it works is that I've shifted my mindset to reflect the things I'm trying to accomplish in life. So, for example, I used to almost be 300 pounds. Now I'm down to like 230, 220 something. So, I've lost about 50 pounds. And I had weight loss surgery. That's how I've lost the weight. But then there was a day where the weight just stopped coming off. And I had I would see people on Facebook that had surgery after me and lost 80 pounds. Or I would see people that were eating chicken nuggets and Coke and Whoppers all day and they lost, 100 pounds. They look great and they look the way that I want to look. But I've only, in the context of weight loss surgery, yes, I have only lost 50 pounds. And dealing with depression and the mood swings and my medication, I just stopped focusing on going to the gym, on eating healthy, because part of my anxiety is I will compulsively eat certain things for days or weeks at a time, and then I'll just kind of get over it and I'll get it out of my system. But I'd stopped focusing on the work that I was putting in. So yes, with the surgery alone, you do end up losing a lot of weight, but it's also up to you to have healthy habits so that that happens. And I stopped those habits completely. And then the weight stopped coming off. And it was already slow to begin with. I already wasn't losing as much weight as other people. Now, mind you, when I had the surgery, I was already on the smaller side, but I just didn't feel good about my decision because I didn't look the way that I wanted to look. And I had to realize this past week, and I've heard it before, and it didn't sink in till about a week ago. I was still in the mindset of someone that was 270 pounds. And in order for this to work, you have to, in a mature way, say that be who you are. There's nothing wrong if that's who you choose to be. But for me, this doesn't work. So if you're comfortable being 300 pounds and whatever goes along with that, great. There's nothing wrong with you. But for me, that doesn't work. So I'm not okay with this. And it takes a level of maturity to realize, like, you're not saying that those people are bad, but it's just bad for you. It's a little trippy. So I had to realize that I still had like a fat brain mentality. And again, that's not to put anyone else down, but in order for me to be the person I wanted to be, I had to hold myself accountable, which I told you guys I'm terrible at. But two, I'd have to develop habits of the healthier, happier, fitter version of me and think about that future version of myself. And to know that in order to get there, I had to start doing these things today. I had to start going to the gym today. I'd have to stop eating sugar cookies when I wasn't manic today. And when I was manic, I'd have to do a better job of holding myself accountable to not doing those things. just to the point that it doesn't break me mentally. Because sometimes it's like, just eat the sugar cookies. That's the easiest thing to do. Because when I'm manic and I'm compulsively doing something, I will get serious, like physical symptoms of anxiety if I stop myself from doing it. So I just have to keep myself in mind when I make a decision to not do something that I'm compulsively doing. But I realized when I put that calendar together, I was like, I want another star for the day. And in order to eat clean and finish having a good, healthy day where I've made conscious choices, I can't eat whatever I want for dinner. And fit Ansley, that is out here looking like a snack and eating appropriate snacks, like she would make the same decision. And for me, that worked. But like I said, I've put in a lot of work that I have done on myself. And that's the type of coaching I want to do for women, that they get to a point where like they can say the same things about themselves. Like I've put in a lot of work and I've gotten over certain hurdles. And now I can adopt this type of thinking. And coaching is hard. Working on yourself is hard. You have to get to certain points to start considering new points to get to. And so I'm now at a point where I'm like, all right, fit version of Ansley makes sense. I can understand that. I can live in the present and see that as a part of my future, regardless of what happened in the past. So by thinking about my future self and saying, all right, not like this future ideal self that I want to be, like Ansley, and I mean that in the way that it's not obtainable. Like I have this idea that I can't ever get to. If I were to say a year from now, this version of me is doing these three things. This is how they got there, and I'm going to live those out every day. And it has been amazing. When you shift your mindset, you unlock this potential that you haven't experienced before because you're thinking about things a different way. And when you take a step back and use frameworks or questions or templates that get you to think outside of yourself, it's interesting. And two, it's a little scary to see how much your mindset controls, as it controls everything. And you have to be aware of that in order to change it. So y'all, get you an accountability calendar. It's amazing. But that's my coaching moment. Think about current self and your future self, and like if you could close your eyes and see for a week straight the things that you were doing and living a happy, reasonable life. And reasonable, not like, oh, I want to be a movie star and make $10 million in the next year, but like, I have a better relationship with my kids, or I see my friends more, or I'm able to get that promotion, or yeah, I'm going to the gym and eating salads and I like it and my clothes fit nice and I can do whatever. Or, I started that thing outside of work that I'm really interested in. Imagine that person. And it's not too far off from you. You've got a little work to do in the middle to get there, but like you could reach your hand out and hold the hand of this other version of yourself that's within you. If you think about that person and the habits they have, how can you keep yourself accountable every day with small actionable things to help get you there? Alrighty, so that is my last topic for the week. Final note. This is very interesting doing this podcast. I am seriously out of breath. I'm going to need a throat lozenge and a cup of water next time. But it's fun. I like talking. Like I said, I'm very scripted, trying to chillax, enjoy my life, and do things in a more organic way. So this is different, but I felt like I got through that okay. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed it. I do want to start doing like a listener letter. So until I get some submissions, I might pick a popular question that's out on the internet or in Cosmo magazine and give you guys my take on it. But let me know what you thought. I'll be posting this on my website and then different podcasting, like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, just like different places so that people can experience my content in a different way. So, all right, guys, that is it. That is episode number 1. I will give this a jazzy name and put it in the description, put it in the title. So stay tuned for more.